All right, guys, welcome back to class. Summary for week 4. This is going to be our last free week. From next weekend onwards, the joining details will be changed. We will not be having the same joining details. It'll be changed, and I'll share that with you this coming week. All right. Perfect. So let's hit this with week 4. Until week 4, do you have any questions for me that you want me to address? Let me quickly go to Google Drive and let me look at the questions probably if you have sent me there. So, free sessions, May 20, July. Okay. No questions. So questions, I think these were answered. Okay. Class 11, how to handle cookies or pop-up windows by Selenium. Ipshita, which pop-up window you're talking about? There are few ways to do it. One is either using alerts, if it is an alert. If it is not an alert, then we use something called as auto ID. But can you give me a specific question, like specific
Yeah,
stuff?
when I was doing one specific, I was trying one specific site. There was like the cookies are coming. I mean the agree and proceed, and then close.
Sure.
So I cannot.
Yeah, those are simple HTML layouts.
But actually, I think I'm getting some problems. So I thought that there must be
Can
some other.
you can you can you tell me which website was that?
It was Zoom.us.
Zoom.us. Okay. Um, so, for example, you're talking about this
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
This is an overlay, and it has a HTML component. So, if you go to the elements, and if I try to inspect any of it, I will
yeah,
be able to inspect it just like that. It's very simple. It is an anchor. It
yeah,
has a name, agree and proceed. The X part of this will be very simple. So I can
yeah.
simply say
But it's not. I mean, it's not something. It was showing that it's not locating any. It's not finding any locator or something like that. I'm getting error again and again. I mean, I'm just calling by expat like dot slash a.
no. I understand what's happening is
Yeah.
on by the time this guy is visible,
Hmm.
you are already hitting the. You're already trying to find the elements. So until unless this guy is there in the page, you
Hmm.
cannot really find this element.
Okay, so I need to wait or something like that.
You need to, for now, what you can do is you can just simply use this, but this is definitely not the right way of doing it. But for now, you can just simply hit it something like thread.sleep.
Yeah, I also used Thread or Sleep 2000
Yeah,
like
give
that.
give
But
more than that. Give 5,000.
okay,
Okay, and then give it a try because I'm pretty sure it's because of that.
I think so.
Yeah,
Maybe.
because until unless this element is there, you really
Hmm.
cannot find, you cannot really try to find it.
Yeah.
And if you try to do that, it will definitely throw you with an error. So this is just, so this section over here that you see here,
Hmm.
we call it in our normal software world, we call this as
Overlay.
overlay.
Hmm.
Overlay, okay? So yeah, it's very simple to handle. I mean, just normal export, find it and it'll be good.
I thought that must be some other way. So
No.
yeah.
It's just a normal
Hmm.
HTML. So you can easily know if that is a not if that can be handled or not, just by just try to inspect it. If you're able to inspect it, and if the console, if the Chrome console is able to give you the location of this
Yeah.
button, then you can be sure that it can be automated very easily.
Yeah, so I need to increase the sleep time. That is the
Yeah, yeah,
problem.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, good stuff. So let me clear this out. Guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to submit it over here like Ipshita is doing. So please do that, and like I will take that up in the very beginning of the class so that we are all in the same page. All right. Let's head back to whatever is week 4. But before I move, is there any question that you want me to handle until week 3? So we have covered in week 3 till from week 1 to week 3. We have spoken about Eclipse, Java, blah, blah, blah. We have spoken about Java class, object, memory allocation, Selenium Chrome driver, configuration, launching application with Selenium, understanding dev tools, HTML layout and attributes, conditional statements, inheritance and runtime polymorphism, constructor and how to use them. Okay, WebDriver location strategies and expert introduction. We have done all of these guys here. You have to understand one thing, guys, that if you are good at finding a locator in the page, your half of the battle is already done. Okay, so always make sure that find the um, you find the element properly. Okay, you need to work for that. Okay, so give me a question if you're not able to understand. Let me know if you have any questions with respect to expert or not. I will be, I don't mind to give you a complete breakdown anyways. So I will now quickly move on to week 4. But before I move on to week 4, I want you guys to give me some understanding. I want to know how much you have understood. Can you guys tell me the difference between absolute expert and relative expert? Let me pick up Toby. Can you tell me the difference between absolute expert and relative expert in a very simple terminology? Toby, you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Go on.
Okay. So you said absolute and the relative, right? Hello?
Right. Absolute expert and relative expert. Yeah.
So the difference is the absolute expert is one is the relative is like it's relative to it's referencing um it's referencing it's the way I take it is almost like how the default works. um the default when we're speaking of it's referencing, I guess, an element. um would I be around the I don't know how to really word it correctly, but
Um, Toby, let me be very harsh with you. You're
okay.
not able to you're not able to word it correctly because you didn't understand.
Okay.
As simple as that.
Okay.
Let's go on to Moses. You want to try? Moses, you want to try?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Go on.
I have some kind of understanding, just a very vague understanding about it, and I think it's like when you it's like it's from like the root element. That's the absolute one, and then the relative part is like you're referencing the element you want, like from like a particular location, kind of thing.
No.
That's
No.
what I understand.
No. I have given an example in the video where I have said that when you are trying to find a particular folder in your system, you start your folder search from C drive, directory 1, directory 2, directory 3. And then in directory 3, you have a folder, which is your desired folder. Please go on mute, guys. Okay. This is your desired folder that you're trying to find. So what you're doing, you're going in an absolute manner. What do you mean by that?
So Vic, can I say absolute is from the root folder, starting from the root folder. Absolute expert is starting from the root folder.
Yeah, it is starting from the root folder, but that's not the point. Both of them are starting from the root folder. Even the relative, you can search it from the root folder. That's not the point. The point is about searching the element. The point is not that from where you start the search.
It's contain the complete path from the root element to the desired element.
Yeah, you are going, absolute expert means you are going to the desired element one at a time, step by step by step.
Yeah, and relative is starting from a desired point.
See, I am going step by step. I'm going to directory 1, directory 2, directory 3, and then to this guy. This is my absolute expert, step by step by step. That is absolute. On the other hand, when I'm talking about a relative expert, I say, I want to go to the desired folder. What do I mean by that? I am performing a global search, desired folder. I say dot double slash. The difference is between a single slash and a double slash. Double slash means I'm searching globally. Now I can start the search from the root by adding a dot in between in the prefix, or I can even start the search from wherever I am right now. The point is that I am trying to search globally. The difference between absolute and relative expert is that. Now, when you're going for an interview, if you are fumbling in this basic concept, it just takes 30 seconds for the interviewer to figure out that you are not clear with it. These are fundamentals, and you cannot go wrong with it. If you have to make him understand the concept, you need to first be master of that concept. Only then you can phrase it however you want, but you will not be able to phrase it if you don't understand it. That's the bottom line, right? Is this clear to everybody? These are the building blocks, guys. Is this clear to everybody? Give me a shout, please. Toby, Moses?
Yeah. What I understand, it's with the absolute. Just correct me if I'm wrong. Absolute, like you sort of going directly from the root kind of thing.
You're again mistaking. Nothing to do with root. Is the logic is nothing to do with root. Obviously, you can start the search from root, but that's not the point. The point is, in absolute expert, you are going one level down at a time. One at a time. So for example, if you, okay, let me clear my drawing. Okay, so let's do a quick check on our website itself. Okay, I have week 3 and I have these 3 guys under it. Let's see how it is built. So look at this guy. It is a paragraph. Okay. 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 Look at this. This whole div is containing the location or the complete block of week 3. Week 3 is having the name of the week and then a small description of the week and 3 videos inside it. That's my whole div that is containing. Now, if I am going ahead and right click on it and I say copy expert, and let's try and see what they have. I mean, I can just quickly do it here itself. Because it is having a, okay, let me do one thing. Because it is having a ID, so it is directly able to find it out, but my point is not that. Okay, copy full expert. Now let's see this. Okay, understand. Okay, let me actually copy this guy, paste it over here. That's my expert, the absolute expert. Try and understand why I am trying to avoid absolute expert over a relative expert. Why? So look at the situation very well. It starts from HTML, the root element. Then I am bodying, then I have a body. Then I have a div. Inside that, there are many divs, but I am in the 4th div. Then what? Then again, I'm going down. There's another div. You understand what I'm talking about? If you try to imagine the structure of this whole absolute expert, then you will understand the way it is built. Let me try and show this to you.
Hi. I just want to see if.
Sorry, can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me better now?
Oh, hi, Richard.
Yeah. Yeah. So just basically what you're saying with absolute is a sort of hierarchical search. So starting from the which I think Moses was trying to say, searching from the top or the topmost of the body element, which obviously according to this structure is the HTML, and breaking down by hierarchy.
Exactly, one
Okay.
step at a time. If
Okay.
I'm trying to, if this is my desired div, if this guy is my desired div, then I am starting my search from top, one step at a time. So when I say I'm choosing div number 4, which means what? Which means there are maybe 5 or 10 divs there, and I'm taking the 4th div. And under 4th div, there is another series of multiple divs, and then I'm taking the 5th div of that series. So these are all different childs. So this is my div 4. So you understand how it is looking like, right? So let me try and show you. This is one div. Okay, there can be multiple divs like this, and inside this div there could be another 3 divs or 2 divs. You understand? Divs are nothing but divisions. Okay, inside which you actually keep your components. So this is the topmost div. Inside that there are 3 divs. So how will I write this? I will write this, right? I will say div of 1. Inside that, suppose I am trying to target the 3rd div. I will say slash div of 3. You understand? Because this 3rd div, the target div is inside the bigger div. And that's how it is structured. Complete page is structured like that. So what I mean by that is, if I'm trying to find a desired element in the page, it means that I need to start my search from wherever I want. That's fine. And I am, so from absolute point of view, I'm going one step at a time. One step at a time. The problem with that approach is huge. What is the problem? Try and understand this problem. Okay, actually, let me, okay. Suppose, think about it. Suppose I have 2 divs here, or maybe 3 divs here. Let me draw it. Let me give another color. Suppose I have div number 1, div number 2, div number 3. Okay, div number 3. And the element that you're trying to interact with is in div number 3. For example, just keep an example. Just keep an example. This is my element, the small button over here. That's my element that I'm trying to work with. It's a button. If I want to write my XPath for this situation, how will I write it? I will do something like this, right? I will say, obviously, I'll start with HTML. Or it doesn't matter. Even if you're not starting with HTML, you're starting with you know, some current node. That's fine. The problem is, if I'm going and writing something like this, I say div, sorry, yes, slash div of 3, no, div of 1. I'm talking about the blue div, okay, the blue div of 1, because there are 2 divs here, div number 1 and div number 2. So I'm taking the div number 1. Inside that, I'm targeting about div number 3. Inside that, I have a button. Make sense? That is my element that I'm trying to interact with. That is the element I'm trying to interact with. Now, the problem is, tomorrow, because you as a QA, you have no control over what is going inside the page. A developer decides that along with the product owner and everybody else, right? Now, you have no control on that particular piece. Now, think about a situation if the developer or the product owner decides to add another div in between, another div in between. So which means something like this. So which means the guy who is in a 3rd position now is now shifted to the 4th position. So this is your button now. This is a desired button now that you're trying to interact with. This is your desired button now that you're trying to interact with. But the element, but what the developer has done is he has simply added another div in between. Now the question to you is, do you think in this situation, what do you think it will happen in this situation when you try to use the same old XPath? What do you think will happen to your situation, to your XPath? Can you tell me that? Can you guys tell me that, please?
I think if the absolute XPath changes, something changes, it makes the XPath invalid. You can't use it again. The whole form changes.
I'm not able to hear you.
I said if something changes, it becomes invalid anyway. If there's a little change in the XPath,
exactly,
it invalid. It's no man absolute XPath.
Exactly, right? It becomes invalid. Now, because the position of the element is changed. So for this div, the div that was the 3rd div is not the 3rd div now, it's the 4th div. So ideally, your XPath will be right now, what? Slash div 1 in the current situation, it will be slash div 1 slash div 4. Come on, man. So slash div 1 slash div 4 slash button. Do you understand? So your XPath is absolutely now changed. So which means what? Which means your test case will keep on failing. Just for the small change that you are not at all control, you don't have any control of, right? Do you understand the problem? Am I making sense? Can you give me a shout, please?
Yeah, that sounds good. So basically, you're going to be pointing to the wrong element kind of thing. If you don't
Exactly.
correct or updated XPath.
Exactly. So I cannot waste my time towards like fixing my XPaths. It's a terrible situation to happen. So which means I need to figure out another mechanism. I will not be going ahead and keeping, I will not keep on updating my absolute XPath paths, right? I will not do that. I want to have some kind of a mechanism that even if anything changes, anything else changes in the page, my XPath that I have implemented should be so robust that it will still be working. Believe me, these are the building blocks of automation. You need to find the locator properly that will be maintainable. Your script should be maintainable, which means you're not going to spend time in fixing these locators. So you have to be very, very careful with that. So I'm going to clear everything out. And in this situation, the one that I was drawing, so for example, this is my div. Let me just go ahead and draw two divs. Div 1, div 2. Inside that, I have 3 divs, div number, or 4 divs, div number 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? My current button, as per my understanding, I mean the last discussion, the current button is right now in this div. Perfectly fine. What should I write in this case if I want to really make it robust and maintainable? The button will definitely have some kind of attributes. So the game starts with attributes now. It's just not about one div at a time or just one button at a time. It's about the attributes. The button will have an attribute. The attributes are different things. It could be an ID. If it's an ID, it's awesome. If it's not an ID, it could be a class. It could be a name. It could be some other attribute that you have to inspect the button and figure it out, right? So all I can do is I can take the help of my attributes and write a relative XPath in such a way that it will never break. So I can do something like this. I can simply go ahead and say dot. I'm starting my search from root /, or / means start searching from root and search all over the page and say button, right? And then say what? Then say at ID. If it's an ID, you're good. At ID equals XYZ. You're done with that. Now in this situation, it doesn't matter how many ever divs are added or removed. You will still be able to work with the same button. Now, if you are thinking of, if you don't have an ID, if you have a class name, no problem at all. Use class, give a class name, and add another attribute, something like this, at name equals ABC, because there could be possibility that there's another element in the page is having the same name. You have to test it. You have to test your XPath and figure out if this XPath that you created is giving you in the console of Chrome 1 of 1. That means there is only one element in the page that is searchable using this XPath that you created, the relative XPath that you created. If you're getting this result 1 of 1, which means your XPath that you created is a unique element in the page. Is this making sense, everybody? Am I clear? Okay. Okay. Let's do some exercise. Okay. I'll pick up someone and let's do some exercise. I'll go to some site. Let's say I'm trying to go to Expedia, or not Expedia. Let's go to something else. Maybe Yatra. It's an Indian travel site. I don't know if they're still there. Hope it's there. Yeah, they're there. Good, very good. Perfect. This is a travel site. Good stuff. I'm trying to find the expert of some stuff. So let's say about non-stop flights. This checkbox. Okay. So let's try and do the inspect on this. Inspection. Perfectly fine. I have an anchor. I have a title called non-stop flights, and I am trying to find the XPath of this element so that I can click on it. What will be the steps? Fran, do you want to try? Fran, do you want to try?
The expert?
Yeah. I want to find the XPath of a relative XPath of the anchor.
I would say dot double slash a. Can I type in the chat?
Yeah. So let me say. Not tell me.
Yeah, a title.
At title.
Yeah, and copy the title.
Equals
non-stop flights.
Non-stop flights. That gives me 1 of 1, which is a very good way to write it. That's perfect. Let's try and do some other stuff as well. Something more challenging. Okay, this guy is having an ID. I don't want to care. I want to see something without an ID, and it is having an ID as well. Say insurance. Okay. Now, the motive is that, or maybe let's go with flights. Let's go with flights. Okay. I want to locate the expert of this icon. Let me see what exactly is this guy. Yeah, this is an icon, but it doesn't really give me anything. Yeah, it's a demo icon flight, right? Demo icon flight. Yeah, that's the one. The span. Okay. I want you to write expert. Okay, where you will be just changing the text flight to hotels, and it will point you to the icon of the hotels. You understand me? So what I'm trying to say here is, just so in the expert that I will write, so for example over here, this value, if I change for the flights or hotels, I want you to point it. I want you to point the XPath to the icon of the flight. Now, this concept is coming from what? This concept is coming from referencing. The concept is coming from referencing. So you understand one thing first. So the problem starts with here, right? You need to first get the text called flight. which should be very simple. You guys have obviously watched the classes where I have spoken about different XPath methods, learning XPath methods, okay? XPath access and all those stuff, which is why I'm straight away going to the problem. So now in here, I want to directly inspect this element that is having the text called flight. Can I do that? It should be very simple, right? What will I say? I will just say I'm looking for a span, okay, that has a text called flights. How do I do it? Can you tell me how do I do it? What method should I use? If you have watched the video, you should be able to tell me.
Contains text.
Contains text. It is okay, but contains not required in this case, because contains is only needed where you are trying to match only one portion of the text. Here you're trying to match the complete portion, right? So I think just text will do. So all you will say is text colon flights, and I have one of one. Make sense? So my first part of the problem is done. Now let's try to understand the problem. My problem is, the problem statement is this: if I change this to hotels, do you see? It is pointing to hotels, right? This guy is pointing to hotels. So the point is this: the point is, if I change this to hotels or cabs or holidays, I want this XPath. I want to add. I have to add something. I want this XPath to point to the relevant icon. Flight icon, hotels icon, cabs icon, and blah blah blah. I want to do that. Can you guys tell me what should be my approach? Let's try to make it a little bit simple. This is my flights. This is my icon. You see that? This is my flights, and this is my icon. My question is, I have to find a way to figure out this element, the span element. The span element. Guys, it's a very, very important concept to understand. If you are mastering XPath, I'm telling you, you are winning the battle. Half of the battle is done with. Tell me, so my motive is simple here, right? My motive is very simple. My motive is, I will know the text, flights or hotels or XYZ, whatever it is, and I need to figure out how can I point out to the XPath of my icon. So this is my element, and I will try to find an element which is relevant or relative to this span, and I will find this guy. This is my problem statement. I want you to tell me, because this thing is absolutely covered in my videos in this current week. Can you give it a try and let me know? What do you think?
You can use the ancestor and put a slash and double dot in the end.
Sorry, go on. You said what?
Use the ancestor.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
I think we can, use the sibling like the parent, and then we follow with the sibling input, like / asterisk and the type, which is the C-span, then we follow by the sibling input.
Okay, you're talking about a preceding sibling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shane, what about you? What do you think? You can do it? How can you do it?
I was going to say use either ancestor or proceed to precede. So I think this is a sibling, isn't it? So it's just, I don't know if the ancestor will get it.
Okay. There are 3 ways. I can look at it and I can tell you. There are 3 ways to solve this problem. Look at this. Clear my drawings. Number one approach. This is my element. This is my reference element. What will I do? I can hit to the div. I can somehow come to the div. Div is my parent. From the parent, I can go one step down to my demo icon. That's number 1 approach, right? Second approach. This is my this is my reference element again. I can directly traverse up to the span over here. Why? Because the span is this span, this div, this span, and this M. They are all sibling to each other. So I can directly go to the preceding sibling and figure this out. Okay. You can also do the first approach. Instead of taking it as a parent, you can say I'm looking for an ancestor. You can do that. But that'll be not the right thing to do actually, because there could be an ancestor up, even this ancestor will be considered. So you don't want to do that. You want to hit the parent. Ideally there are 2 approach, not 3, 2 approach. From reference to the parent and parent to this guy, or I can directly hit this guy because they are my preceding sibling. Let's try and do this. What will I do? Is very simple. Look at this. It's very, very simple. Nothing complicated at all. Just give some time and you'll be absolutely fine. So I will say flights. That's my element. Let me clear my drawings. Okay. I will say I want to go to my parent. How can I go to my parent? Very simple. Slash dot dot. Okay. The parent is not div, but it is anchor. How is that? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, why not? Yeah, so this is now more challenging. Awesome. So look at this. So this div and this span, they are sibling to each other. You have to expand and contract these guys to exactly understand in which layer they are residing. So this div and this span, they are sibling to each other, but not this anchor is actually my parent. So ideally, I will not go with the parent approach. Ideally, I will have only one approach over here, guys, and which is very simple. I will say I'm looking for. So under this anchor tag, there are 3 elements. You can understand very easily that I have 3 elements. One is div, another one is the span, another one is the M. These 3 are sibling to each other. Okay. So what I will do is I will do very simple stuff. I'll just say I'm looking for a preceding sibling. So I'll say I'm looking for a preceding sibling colon div. Do you see that? I'm saying I'm looking for a preceding sibling colon div. If I want to say following sibling, then I don't have a div, obviously. I don't have a div as my following sibling. So I can say M. You see that? Very simple stuff. So I know that I need to point to the div, which is my preceding sibling. preceding sibling. Inside that, what do I have? I have a span, which is containing my demo icon, correct? So all I will say is inside div, all I will say is I'm looking for a span. So I can just say span. I don't even have to bother about any other attributes, because in this div, I don't have anything else other than the span. I don't have anything else other than the span. It's just the span. So if I just say span, then I'm good. That is what was pointing to the icon. Now see, with this structure, if I say hotels, I'm pointing to the hotels icon. If I am say cabs, I'm pointing to the cabs icon. You see that? So now you just understood that this is the concept of what? A dynamic XPath. A dynamic XPath. Think about it. Just give me 1 minute. Let me plug in my laptop. Hold on. Okay. So I'm talking about a dynamic XPath. What do I mean by that? Look at this. Think about it. It's very, very simple to understand. I'll take you to my application. Okay. So let's put this in the text. We got the XPath of that element. Perfectly fine. Now think about it. The motive is you are trying, so the test case says this. You want to see that for each and every element in the top of that menu, if there is an icon existing or not. Because if there is no icon existing, then the span will not be even there, and it will be throwing with an error. Very simple. Okay. So can you just do this? Can you simply think about this cabs, the text that I'm saying, cabs? Okay. I will simply, from Selenium perspective, from Java perspective, I will simply replace that with a variable called, I don't know, menu items. Menu items. This is a string variable. You see that? This XPath is now a dynamic XPath. This is a string variable. Think about it. Very simple. Think about it. We can have a simple array of menus. Okay. Look at the logic. The logic is simple. So in this guy, I am providing hotels, flights, cabs. Sorry. My bad. So hotels, flights, cabs, okay, and many more. That's there as a part of my menus. Perfect. I can simply use a loop. Think about it. I'll simply use a for each loop. String menu item colon menus, because I'm looping through the array. You know how for each loop works. Within the scope of it, all I have to say is what? All I have to say is that this element, right? This element and this element over here called cabs is replaced by menu item. You understand? Now the loop will iterate for each and every iteration. Either it will be hotels or flights or cabs, and every time you are just trying to find the icon existing or not. So you just implemented a dynamic XPath, an XPath that changes. So it's a dynamic XPath. Is this making sense to everybody? A very, very important concept.
Savik, is dynamic same as the relative XPath? Are they same?
No. Dynamic XPath is you're using relative XPath or absolute XPath.
Relative. Okay.
you're using XPath. Let me finish. You're using absolute XPath or relative XPath to find the element. That's fine. But now that XPath that you have found, the XPath that you have found using your relative XPath concept, now you're trying to create a mechanism using which the same XPath can be used to find multiple elements in the page. So what I did, I simply created one XPath over here that is pointing me to an icon. That's fine, totally fine. But I understand one thing, that every time if I am able to change this portion of the text, XPath is what? At the end of the day, XPath is a text, it's just a string. So if possible, if there is a possibility that I can change this portion of this whole text every time, then every time it will be pointing to a different element. Is this making sense? Hello? Guys, am I making sense? Sorry, tell me if I'm making sense. If not, I'll go over it. The motive is to work less and have a more impactful result, which means I have a situation where I want to use one XPath to find multiple elements in the page, and I can use this strategy. It's a strategy. XPath is of two types: absolute XPath, relative XPath. We have understood why to use relative XPath, so that's the bottom line. We are finishing over there. So relative XPath is fine. We're going one level ahead now. What we're trying to say is that the relative XPath that we have implemented, now in that whole XPath string, I can replace one portion and I can make that XPath point to multiple different locators in the page, multiple different elements in the page. It's very simple, right? Look at this. I mean, let me clear out. I'll go back to my element. Think about it. Think about it. Oopsie. No. Okay. Okay. Let's put it here. This is my XPath that I got. Can I get a confirmation that you have understood this XPath? Is it true? Yes or no? You understood the concept of XPath, right? This XPath, that the way I have implemented. Moses, Toby, you're understanding this? Yes or no? Okay. So if you're understanding this, then think about it. Think about it. In this whole XPath, only if I change this portion of the text, only if I change this portion of the text from cabs to hotels, I will be able to point my XPath to the hotels icon. Is this true or not? Is this true or not? Toby or Ricardo? Sorry, Richard, sorry. So similarly, if I, yeah, go on. Give me a question, yeah. Tell me.
What, I was trying to get the question again, please.
The question is that you understand this XPath, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so only this portion that I'm highlighting in blue, if I change this text from cabs to hotels, it is going to point to the hotels icon. Is this
Yeah, that's
true or
correct.
not?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
true.
so similarly, I can just keep on changing it to flights, to holidays, to insurance, to buses, and every time it will point to the relevant icon.
Yeah,
So
it's dynamic. Yeah.
it's dynamic. So if I this portion of this text, if I'm making this as, if I'm using this as a variable, the portion of this text, if I am making this as a variable, right? And if I keep on updating the variable with different text, hotels, flights, cabs, holidays, every time I will get what? Every time I will get a new icon. This is the concept of dynamic XPath. Guys, you have to practice this. You have to implement your scenarios like this, saying that I want to check if all the icons of the menu are visible or not. So you have to think how to implement it. I just told you the foundation of it very well. Now you have to just go and implement it. Actually, I told you the whole thing. You have to just implement it. Okay. Now, again, a different question. I want not somebody. Let me ask Richard. Richard, I want you to give me XPath. I'm taking some time to clear this out. I want you to give me an XPath which is going to print out the names of all the icons or all the menu items that has the text called new. You see that? That's my test case to you. That's my test case to you. How will you know that how many of them are having the new, and how would you collect all the names that is having the text called new? So let me help you inspect it. I'll go and inspect this element first. So let's understand that I have this element booking, beta booking engine, new. Okay, new, m text new. Let me try and see one more of these guys. Again, m text new. Again, another element, m text new. Perfectly fine. Can you guys tell me? I want to print out the names of all these icons. Whoever is having the m text new, that's my test case. Give me, first and foremost, think about for a minute. I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll take a quick break. I'll give you 5 minutes. Think about it. If you guys want to discuss among yourself, please feel free to do that. You know, you can unmute yourself and talk to each other. I have no problem. Just tell me the pseudo code, or just the like you know, overview or some kind of a layout that you want to use in order to find this element. So let me try to make it even simpler for you. So I will quickly go back to new again. Think about it. You need to get all the elements. Think about it. The question you have to understand very well. Give me all the elements in the page that has a new tag. That means the test case should be in such a way that it will scan through all the elements in the page and then only will report whoever is having a new tag. That's the test case. So the question is just not about implementing the XPath, but also about writing a test case that will give me an understanding that whoever is having the new tag. That's my question. Okay. This is my element. I'll take 5 minutes break. You can talk to each other. Give me a pseudocode. That means a simple logical explanation that you want to use, and then we will implement the test case. All right. So I'll just take a quick minutes break. Thanks. You guys are not talking to each other. We are going to stay in this course for 4 months, and I think it's really, really high time that you guys should know each other and talk to each other, because we are all working as a team. Everybody is having their own requirement for learning this skill set, but eventually we have to go through the whole process together. So please talk to each other, interact with each other, talk to each other in the Slack, in Zoom. I have no problem at all, and work as a team. That's a request. Yeah. Okay. So anybody can give me a logic, like why this is happening, or how to actually get it done properly. This particular logic that I'm trying to implement. How can I do it? Shane, you want to try?
I might be right with this, but first of all, I think we need to find the XPath with anything with a new EM, store it in using find elements, store it in an array and then print it out. Is that right? Could be wrong with that now.
No, you're quite close there. So anybody else wants to give it a try? Something else that comes into their mind?
And I'm thinking, can I speak? Is it okay?
Yeah.
I'm on my iPad anyway. I'm at work, so but from what I've seen, from what you dynamically showed us using a relative to locate the path, I see if you use the // and it's a text one because you are trying to access to find the new, everything with the new. So text into bracket the new text. Sorry, we use the span, the // and text double bracket equals to new, which is in quotes, and we use the preceding sibling dot div that /span. That's what I thought it is.
Actually, it should be very simple. What is the logic? The logic is, I want you to print out all the elements that has the tag called new. That's all my requirement is in the whole page. So if I just design it, look at this. I mean, it's very simple. I'll say M that has a text. The text is new. Perfect. How many of them are there? I see this guy is saying 6 of them. I don't know how. I see 3 of them. Let's see why it is saying 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think somewhere in the page. There is this guy. Let me do it again. This is my first. This is my second. I can't even see it because it could be hidden somewhere else. I'm not able to see it. 3, 4. Okay. So 1, 3, and 4 indexes are my desired element. The situation is this, right? So the test case is this. I need to find all the elements that are having a new tag. That's for sure. But where exactly? What I mean by that is, I am trying to find I want to scan only this portion of my application. Only this portion, only this strip. I want to scan, and I want to see whoever is having the new tag and print them all. So if that's the case, then, yeah, sorry.
Can we use the asterisk // m into bracket the text and the new?
No, why would you use asterisk? Asterisk means give me anything.
Okay.
No, I don't want to use asterisk. I want to use M. I want to be very precise, and I want to say I am using M that has a text called new. But the point is where exactly this M I'm trying to find out. The point is that I want to find this M only inside.
Would it be header? Would it be the header? The header.
I mean, only in this section. It is a header or not, we have to see it, but only in this section, not the header of the page, but ideally it is in this section. Whatever this section is, we have to figure this out. So I just want to figure this out, that this M is exactly located. The search I'm doing for the M should be only in this portion. That's my first motive. Okay, let's clear this out. And okay, let's clear this out. I have an M, so which is my right M? The right M that I'm looking for is this guy over here. It's called header new icon. And what about the next one? It is a beta booking engine. You see, there's a difference. M class beta booking engine new. Another is beta booking engine new. Beta booking engine new. The first one is header new icon. Okay, so let's try to do something. Let's try to see where exactly I am getting started with. Right. So header right left menu and header left menu. You have to read this. Header right menu, the strip that I'm targeting, and then header left menu is something on the left, I believe. I think this is the menu it is trying to point out to. Yeah, that's the left menu. And this is my header right menu. Okay, so I can start my search right from here, saying class div class div class. I'll probably increase the font a little bit for you so you can see it well. Okay, div class equals, in quotes, I'll say this. That's perfectly fine. Inside that, I'm looking for some M. My M that I'm looking for is just not the direct child. It's not, but it's a relative child. You see that? The difference? If I say a single slash, it doesn't give me anything. But if I say double slash, that means what? I'm starting my search of this M. Let me expand it a little bit more. I'm starting my search, understand this concept very, very well, that I am starting the search of this M from this div, and I'm saying double slash M. That means give me a M inside this div, wherever it is. But this M should be there within this div. Okay? Let's clear this out. What is the result I'm getting? I'm getting 2 of them. Only 2 of them. But am I happy with that? I'm not, because I should be getting 3 of them. So from the look and feel, that's what it looks like. So 1. Yeah, it is not even pointing to the right guy. This header menu is not pointing to the right guy. This is a header icon, header new icon. That's perfectly fine. And then I should have this guy. I should have this guy. You know what? We'll try something. We'll try something. This new item that I have here, that is this. I'm trying to print out. The problem with this XPath is that the problem is not with the M. The problem is, to look at the structure, I have an anchor over here, and the anchor is having a support, right? That's fine. But the problem is, if I go to this guy is having a M, but the text called insurance is not inside an anchor. It's inside a span. So there's a difference between this guy and this guy new. You see? This is my element. This is my header icon new. And the text is right above saying support. The text is right above saying support. On the other hand, over here, okay, it is in the span. The difference between this new and this new in terms of how the texts are displayed. So we can then use something else. Let's see. So my motive is to find. Let's not even deal with the div now. I'm looking for a simple new guy. The new guy that I'm looking for, it can have two things. One is the class called header new icon at class equals header new icon. Okay, and I see that there are two of these elements, but those are definitely not the car guy and the insurance guy, definitely not. So I can also say or at class equals, what is that? At class equals beta booking engine. Let's see that. Beta booking engine. I will say it as, why I am not getting this? At class at beta booking engine. Okay, sorry. Or at class equals beta booking engine. I hope you understand what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find the M that is having either beta booking engine as a class or the header new icon as a class. So beta booking engine is working separately. That's fine. Oh my God, this guy is having 13 of them. 13 of them. Let's see. Span hotels. Yeah, beta booking engine with a text new. At class beta booking engine. Beta booking engine. Okay, there are 4 of them that are there. I don't know why it is showing 4 of them. Adventures. Okay, I think there is something. Adventures which I'm not able to see. Why? Okay, it's there in the more. Okay. It's in the more. So these are also having the new tag, but for some reason, I'm not able to see it though. So the more is also new. It's a new tag. but anyways, I cannot see it. That's fine. That's the reason it is showing me 4 of them. So beta booking engine, this is fine. My motive is to find with the OR. I don't know why I'm not getting that OR. Let's see something. I must be doing something wrong. Expert or condition, right? To condition using OR in expert. So if you just try to find this out, yeah, it is OR. Text ecosystem. That's what I did ideally. Let me see something. So either I'm looking for a beta booking engine with text, or I'm looking for a class that is, yeah, now it's fine. Now it's fine. That is the header new tag. What is that? Header new tag. Header new something. Insurance. Okay. So either that or this guy. This is header new icon, right? So either that or header new icon, right? Either that or header new icon, and header new icon is also having the text called new, right? That is my scenario. So I can actually get all of them then. So it is pointing to all of them now. Yeah, it's pointing to all of them now. Now the thing is that I don't know, in this application, somehow for the additional stuff, which is in the more section, I don't really see the new M, the new tag, like the visible new tag. I cannot see that, but they are also tagged inside M, which is a little bit weird for me because I don't see that tag at all. But they have added that M thing, which is a little bit weird, right? Let's try to inspect this element one more time and see if we can find something specific. So beta booking engine new. No. It is actually giving me 6 of it. I'm looking for 3 of them, which is why the problem is. Anyways, what we can do is we can simply copy this guy, and I can do something. I can quickly write a scenario, which is using my Eclipse. Oh, I didn't open my Eclipse. Let's see what it prints, okay? Launch. So the point is that I am after this guy, this is my M. This whole thing is my M. But on top of that, my motive is to go and find out two things. One is either the span or an anchor. If you remember, it was either a span or an anchor for the support and span for the beta booking engine. So I can do something like this also, right? I can say slash preceding sibling, preceding sibling colon A preceding sibling or span. Okay, so I'm getting span. So span, I'm getting like 4 of them. That's fine. But let me see what do I get it for the support, right? The support. Okay, it is not a preceding sibling, right? This is a challenge now, because in this situation, the support is on top of anchor. The anchor is having the M tag. So preceding sibling will not really work out in that situation. So let me see if I can have a OR there as well. So in this situation of the slash, I can say preceding sibling span no, it doesn't work that way. Or preceding sibling span, or no, this will not work. Yeah, that's a strange way of doing it, because my motive was to take the XPath of this text support. You understand my challenge? My challenge is that the way this guy is laid out and the way this guy is laid out is different. So the preceding sibling of this guy will give me the cabs and insurance and everything, but support will not do that. Support is not having that. So ideally it will not work out. I have to handle it separately. I cannot be mixing this two things together, because the internal structure of it is absolutely different. So I can just say simple preceding sibling with beta booking tag new and give me the span of it, and that will give me the span of it, and that will, you know, if I just put a find elements for all of them, it will just print me all of these guys, as simple as that. So if I just go and start my test case over here, new Java project summary week 4. Week 4. And in here, let me add in my Java build path, add external jars, Selenium. Okay, and new class Yatra test with the main method, done with that. And this is my XPath, right? That's good. I will quickly copy a few things from my previous class. So okay, and I'm looking for the site, which is yatra.com. Yatra.com. Okay, and I want to simply go ahead and print out all the elements that are having the new tag. So we will use something called as, I don't know if you have gone through this, but or if you're aware of it, but probably it will be covered in the this week video. So list of web element, say menu items equals driver dot find elements. Find elements is a plural by dot expert, and I just say this guy over here. So I couldn't cover the extreme left guy because that is not really matching this portion. You understand? This portion is not matched because that M is under an anchor and this guy is under a preceding sibling. So I really cannot mix them together. That's a challenge that we saw. So I have to handle that separately if I ever want to. But that's that. And this is my web element. I'll import that. I'll import the list. Okay. And I'll just use a for loop. And I say web element menu or items, menu items, correct? And what do I say? I say sysout okay. And all I want to do is very simple. All I want to do is items, or to say items with new tag, right? Those are, I'll just say plus items dot get text. Get text is a method coming out of the web element plus, and I am able to say get text. Now once I'm done with that, let's hit it. Okay, let's see what do we have. Perfectly fine. You see that? I got cabs and insurance. Okay, these two guys doesn't have this. The element is there, otherwise it would have thrown me an error. The element is there, but I'm not able to get any text out of it. So ideally, if I really want to print out anything, so if I really want to know whoever is having the cards and menus, so I can just use this simple logic, right? I say string text, just a text equals items dot get text, items dot get text. Okay, item dot get text, and then I'm going to show you one more method for a string class or string elements called trim dot trim. Trim means take out spaces, any spaces from first and last of the string. Okay, from the prefix and the suffix, if there is any space, then take them out. Okay, so which means this will be one single text that will have no spaces at all in the front and at the back of the string. Okay, so now I will say if my text is not equals, or I'll say something like this, dot equals dot equals, come on, here equals, dot equals this. If it is not equals this, that means if it is not empty, then go and print it. You understand me? If it is not empty, then go and print it. So you see, I handled it. Some portion of it I was able to handle it with XPath. Okay, the maximum of it I was able to handle it with XPath. the logic of this particular test case was to find out whichever element is there in the page that has a new tag. Okay, that was my logic of this particular test case. That is what I wanted to implement. So the 70% of it was done using the XPath that gave me a fair amount of understanding, like whoever is having the tag called new, and rest of it I was able to implement it with Java. So you have to use the combination of both of them to complete a test case, right? Now, if I go ahead and run this now, then obviously I will get the values that I desire for. So look at this, right? Am I making sense with the approach that I have taken towards solving this? The other element I could have included, but it's not possible because they are not in that list. I mean, the structure of it is entirely different. So I really cannot do much on that, but this part is done. Is this making sense? Yes, no? XPath is very detailed and tricky in syntax preceding Selenium operator. Yeah, it is. Can you put syntax where you cancel out the more tab? Toby, what do you think about it? Be honest and tell me what do you think about it. Yeah, that's fine. Arrays will not be the right element here because arrays cannot be dynamic. Whatever the size you fix for the array, it will be that much only. So array list is a better approach. Am I making sense with this? Yes, no? Toby?
Yes, the video. I think, to be honest, I didn't do my due diligence in this expat topic subject, so that's why I'm not getting clearly. So I think once I watch the video, but I'm still collecting some things, but not 100%, and that's because I didn't do my due diligence in the videos. So that's okay.
Okay,
I'll
but
catch up.
if you can tell me which part of it is not clear to you. I mean, look at this XPath that I have implemented. Look at this XPath that I have implemented. I want you to tell me in this XPath, which part do you think is something that you are not getting? If you are specific, then I can know your problem and I can help you.
Okay, so it has to do with the preceding and the sibling and the span and the M in general. So I didn't get that far in to the video, so I just gotta watch that.
Can you give me a confirmation? Okay, from your own words. I'm going to ask you a question which will make me clear whether you are understanding this or not, and whoever is also having some doubt will have their answers. So I want you to tell me what exactly is happening from here to here. Forget about preceding sibling for now. I need you to tell me what is happening from here to here. I want you to be very detailed and tell me what exactly is happening from here to here. I mean, in the square bracket in this section which I'm highlighting. Tell me what is exactly happening.
Okay, so that is the .//m class. That was like the syntax that you got for this beta booking engine. So that was actually the style of this tag, and you're just saying that this tag, I want to get this type of tag that has a text new attached to this tag.
Okay, you're to some extent right. If you are asking me the question by looking at this particular scenario, by looking at this particular section which I have highlighted, I will say it like this. I will say it, I'm starting my search from the root saying dot. So number one, starting the search from root of HTML, and I am saying it by dot. I'm using relative XPath concept, using relative XPath concept. I am trying, I'm searching for a tag M. Okay, so this is done by //m. 3, I'm looking for an M. I'm looking for an M that has a class which is beta booking engine and a text which is new. This is the answer that you should be giving me. You see the way I structured it, starting from the dot till the end.
Yep.
Is this clear to everybody?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Based on the answer you gave, you said starting from the search from root of HTML doc. So we know absolute XPath is we start from the root to the desired element, but the relative is you start from anywhere from node to the desired element.
The point is, again, you're mistaking.
Okay.
So you're circling back and you're coming back to the same place saying starting from root. It's not about that. You can start both the search from root. The problem is not that. The problem is you with the absolute XPath, you are searching for an element step by step, one at a time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In relative XPath, I am starting my search from root, but I'm straight away coming to the M.
All right, okay, all right, yeah.
The problem is with the searching pattern, not with like from where I'm starting my search. No.
All right, okay. All right. Good, thank you.
Okay. So this is how I will tell about the story of my first part of the XPath. That's one. Second part of the XPath is this. 4. Inside M. Okay, not inside M. Taking M as a reference. Understand this. Taking M as a reference, I am targeting. Come on, man. I'm targeting a span. Understand this. Taking M as a reference, I'm targeting a span which is a preceding sibling. And that's the end of it. Taking M as a reference, I'm targeting a span which is a preceding sibling. And that's how you tell the story of this particular XPath. Everybody's crystal clear on this, right? Because if you're not able to, yeah, go on.
Good question. And now that we've learned about relative, absolute and relative, what do you call it, XPath. In what scenario, when you're writing a test case, for example, in what scenario would you actually use absolute
I'm not going to use ever absolute expert. I have explained this. You were not there when I was explaining this in the class earlier today. And in the video as well, I've explained this. You will not use absolute expert ever.
Okay.
We will be only using relative expert. And why we will not use absolute expert, I've explained that in this today's video itself. Please go over it, and that will give you a fair understanding.
Okay, yeah, I think I do understand that. I think when you use absolute expert, it's just too much to do, because you can actually just use the relative, you can just use the references. I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm just asking, if there was any reason to actually use.
No, there is. So to find an element in the page, there are these two options available. People who are not understanding the difference between absolute expert and relative expert, they will simply go ahead. So this is how people will do it, right? In any other, I mean, if somebody is not understanding the difference between absolute expert and relative expert, then they will do this. They will simply go ahead, open the Chrome console, try to find out any element up here, okay? And say, for example, I don't know, I'm just saying this guy, okay? And there was a copy expert or copy full expert, whatever it is, and they will simply use it as it is in their test case. And later on down the line, not immediately down the line, in 2 or 3 weeks down the line or a month down the line, you will see that your test cases are failing because your expert that you have implemented was not robust, which is why I'm spending so much time and energy to make you guys understand that absolute expert will it's not the right thing.
It's not
Not the right thing to
maintainable,
go
not
for.
sustainable, right?
Exactly, it's not sustainable. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. So with that in place, let's try and clear out. So next time, when I'm asking you to explain me expert, I want you to break it down the way I did it and explain me step by step. It's very easy to do it. It's that, just 1 minute. So it's just that you have to look at all these different tags or desired element in the page, and you have to build a story against that. Similarly, the way I am right now, separating out each one of the components and showing you. And then this is how you should answer me or answer anybody. Okay?
So
Let me
Lee,
clear it out. Yeah.
you said that understanding the expert is after battle. It's a good, because the game of automation is really locating the elements and being able to
Yeah.
write test cases where in a way that it can go and locate these elements inside the web page.
Yeah.
What would you say is the other half of the battle of everything that we've learned so far?
The other aspect of the battle is to create the business logic to test that application. The first part is finding the element, and then with the element that you found, how will you implement your test case? So at your stage or at this initial level, when you go in to find a job after completing the training, the expectation for you is that you will be implementing the test cases. You will be already given with a framework. What is a framework? I will explain that. So you will be given with a framework. The expectation is you look at the framework, you understand the framework, somebody will give you a transition for the framework, and then you start implementing the test cases. To implement the test cases, whatever the business logic you have to use. For example, let me clear my drawings. I'll go back to Yatra. Come on, close them. Okay. The business logic I'm talking about, right? For example, you're asked to implement a test case where you want to enter some date inside this application, and you want to search for a holiday or a flight, whatever it is, right? You click on this guy, it opens up this portion of the page, which is a calendar. The question is that you want to select a particular date in this calendar. So the task says you have to select a flight from today, 5 months later. So today is your 16th August. So you need to select a flight. So August, September, October, November, September, October, November, December. You want to find a date for December. That's your test case. What will you do? You will have to, so clicking on this button is very simple. Clicking on this guy is very simple. That brings you this. Now, the challenge is you have to first figure out what? What is your current month? Look at this. Look at the business logic, how I'm breaking down. So first, find the current month. How it is found, it's all covered in the video. Don't bother, but to see, find the current month, calculate the 5th month from today's month, 5th month from current month, right? This is called as a pseudo code that I'm writing. Basically a logic. I'm trying to build a logic for you. So okay, that's that. Third is what? Third is once you found the desired month, whether it's December or October, whatever it is, then you match that name of the month with whatever is here shown in the screen right now. So you see August, you see September, you see October. So you are going to run a loop. What you're going to do? You're going to run a loop that keeps on scrolling this page until it hits December, and just not December. So you see the scroll will happen and you will see December, and that will be it, and you cannot come out of the loop. No, you have to come to a level where the December is somewhere in the middle section, where the whole December month is visible. So you have to look for December. You should be able to find an element inside the December section that is till 31st December. So if you're targeting this element, which means the whole December month is now in the viewport, is right now in the viewport. This whole part is now visible for you to play with or to take some action, right? So you have to keep on scrolling until and unless you see December 2020, 31st December. So which means your whole section of December is viewable, is visible for Selenium to interact, and then you go ahead and you select a particular desired date. Do you understand the logic?
Yep.
So this is how you need to so your half of the battle is locators, half of the battle is your at this level when you are right now getting started with, this is what your battle is. So locators and test case implementation. That's the initial step. Once you're done with that, then your next step is to understand the framework that I will be showing you. I will be showing you at least 5 different type of framework in this course for web application, mobile application, for backend services, then finally one end-to-end framework. Okay, so you will be then you should be then battling against understanding the framework and later on implementing the framework. With my 12+ years of experience, I am able to implement the framework in maybe 2 or 3 days time, by understanding the requirement, and then I can implement the framework. That will come to you in eventually, right? But at this moment, this is your battleground. Is this clear to everybody? I mean, as your experience is like, you will, once you're done with this course, you will go for the interview. You will show that you have 2-3 years of experience. Nobody's going to expect you to, implement a framework. No, they will be expecting you to implement test cases. They will ask you, definitely they will ask you, can you describe the framework that has been used? And I will tell you how to describe that. Okay, I will tell you how to describe that. So you have to explain the framework that you have worked on. Obviously, you should be able to understand. You should be able to answer that because you were working on it for like a couple of years, something like that. So you should be able to tell them the story about the framework, but they are not expecting you to implement a framework. They're expecting you to write the test cases. This kind of questions will come in. That okay, how do you handle a date picker? This is a date picker. How do you handle that date picker? How do you handle a web table? How do you handle these complex XPaths? They can show you some kind of a scenario like this and say, can you go ahead and implement an XPath for me on this? Right? Those kind of questions you should be encountering. Good stuff. So let me clear out everything. Okay. Now, what else? Let's go on to, okay. So I was talking about, here there is very one good thing I have explained. XPath method difference between find elements. I think you understand that part very well now. Find element is finding one element in the page. Find elements are nothing but finding multiple elements from the page that are commonly inspected using one XPath. So you just saw the example of find elements that I just did 2 minutes back. So, and you can store the elements found inside a list of web elements and you can work with it. That's one thing. Second thing is create test case to check link by HTTP request. This is a very good concept that I have described here. Can anybody tell me what have I shown here? And do you have any questions with that? This portion, HTTP request. Sorry, can you tell me what is this? What is this guy? If Shita, do you want to try? I've given an example of
Yeah.
Amazon.com, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what is it?
Here we are doing actually without navigating to the next page. So that's why we are using that HTTP link.
Okay.
I mean, after that we are using certain steps like getting URL and HTTP connection, like like set request or something like that. I mean that code. So so after that we are checking code. If the code is success, then it will return that it is active, and if it is not 200 or something like that, so it will be inactive like that.
Okay. So you're quite close there. Let me try to make you guys understand one more time. I have like 20 links in the page. I can test cases. The test case is that verify if all the links are redirecting to a page. to a page. Ideally, what you're trying to understand is if there is any link which is broken, which means a link is there, but there is no page to go to. A lot of times you see 404 error, right? Because there is no page to go to. The link is there, but when you click on this, it lands into a 404 page because the page is not even there. So you're trying to figure out if there is any link in the page that is broken. That's your test case. Okay? Two ways you can do it. One is there are all these links. There are all these links. So something like this. Link 1, link 2, link 3, right? Yeah, you see all these 20 links in there. And what you can do is using Selenium, you can do this. You can just go ahead and you can just click on link 1 dot click. Okay, link 1 dot click. This will redirect you. This will redirect you to the next page. To the next page, if that link that page is existing. Okay, that will take you to the next page. In the next page, when you reach the next page, you just see if that page is having some title. So there's a method called driver dot get title. Okay, there's a method called driver dot get title, which will give you the title of the page. So if the page is existing, then obviously I will get a title. And if I'm getting a title, then I can say that the page is not broken, the link is not broken. And then I can do what? I can again come back. Again come back to the page where all the links are residing. Again, I can say link 2 dot click. Okay. I can keep on doing this. I can go to the next page. I can see if the title is there or not. I can come back to the previous page again. And I can keep on doing this, which will take a lot of time towards verifying if the links are there or not. I mean, links are not broken or not, right? Or on the other hand, I can take the help of HTTP request object. I want you guys to tell me if you have, how many of you have actually seen this? Okay. Using get. Okay. Read from video 4. Toby, have you seen this? Moses. Wale.
Tavik, is it
Yeah.
the link whereby you use a code like HTTP request to send a code? Like for instance, 200, if it's able to return you a valid code, which is 200, then
Yeah.
the link
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
connected.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
not, then it's actually failing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how many of you guys have done that? I have a request to everyone, right? When you're coming to the summary class, please don't take the summary class as the class to learn something new. You understand me? You're coming here to the summary class. The expectation is when you're coming to the summary class, you already have watched these videos, gathered enough questions to be asked to me, right? Don't take the summary class as your primary class. The primary class are the videos. Summary class are there to run you through the whole concept. Because if I actually have to now go over each and every topic that are discussed in the summary, I mean in the video, then it will take much longer than what we have for the summary class, which is not practically possible. I can give you guys an overview, and I can take up all your questions, and I can get you up to the speed, or wherever you have a roadblock, I can help you to solve that. But that's pretty much about it. Your primary source of this whole course is the videos, assignments, assessments. So manage your time accordingly, put some more effort. 4 months is what I need from you. My motive is that I should be able to take you to a level where you are confident, whether in your organization to approach for an automation project or to go for a job. So just be there with me, yeah? Okay. Now, the point is that I was talking about HTTP request. I have already explained that. Let me go down here to the page. If you have not watched this, please watch it. If you want to have a if you want to have a, yeah, this is the risk I was talking about. Launch in the bottom of the section, verify every link under the following section. They're working correctly without navigating to any of these links. I've explained this in details in the video. Please watch it and come back to me with a question. I can just run you through the code one more time quickly. The test, Amazon test. So yeah, here, look at this code that I have explained, this portion over here. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to create an object of URL. Okay, I'm trying to create an object of URL because obviously I have to hit a URL. Okay, I'm creating the object of a URL. That's number one. I'm looping around the list of links, and I'm getting the URL object for each and one of them. And then I have another object that I created called HTTP URL connection. Okay, and I'm using the method called open connection to open the connection. I have to open the connection so that I can fire the so that I can hit the link. Okay, so I'm creating an open connection, and once the connection is created, this connection object is created, then I'm saying connection.setRequest get. I've explained what is get. Get is nothing but a HTTP request. Get is a HTTP request. Get is a HTTP request. So you can look at the video and you can understand what I'm talking about. What are HTTP requests? There are different type of HTTP requests. Get is one of them. Get means get some information, as simple as that. And then I'm saying .connect. So when I'm saying get is the request that I'm trying to connect with, so I'm saying connection.connect. And then I'm saying connection.get response code. So if I am getting the response code anything between 200 and 400, then it is a valid response, which means the page is existing there. I really don't have to go and verify each and every title of the page. I can simply see if there is any response that is coming anything between 200 and 400. Okay, and if it is there, then I'm happy to say that my the next page is absolutely working fine. So if I just show you what I mean by HTTP request, just do a quick small Google HTTP requests or response codes. Just do simple study on this. What am I talking about? Okay, see there are different types of response codes around there. 200, 300, 400, 500. Anything that falls under 400, 500, they're all in negative categories. 200 and 300s are positive categories. Hundreds are like just the informational. Okay, if anything is falling under these two categories, then I can say it is a positive category, right? So that's the logic that I have used in order to create that scenario. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is class week 4, class 12. Okay, I have already covered about expert access browser commands. Browser commands are different browser commands I have used. Can you guys tell me the difference between the get command and the navigate command? Can you guys tell me the difference between get command and navigate command? Who can tell me this? Moses? Moses? Do you want to try? Can't hear you, man. If you're not, you're muted. Anybody else? Richard, do you want to try? Shane?
Just browser.
Sorry?
The browser commands to
I
open the
lost a
page.
bit of connection here. Can you repeat? Can you
Yeah.
repeat the question because I lost my question, please?
No, I was asking what is the difference between the get command and the navigate command. So Shane is saying that both of them are used for opening a web page, and that is true. Both of them are used to open a web page. That's perfect. Wale, do you know what is the difference between? Okay, not the difference. Can you tell me how can I perform? So this is a text. This is a input box. This is input box. I have a button. This input box, and I have a button as well. Right here. That's my button. Okay. In the input box, I want to enter some text. Say hotels. And I want to click on this button. Right? Which will search for hotels. This is one way of definitely searching for hotels. Or I want to do this. I want to enter the text called hotels, and I want to hit enter in the keyboard through automation. I want to hit enter in the keyboard through automation. How will I do it? So you can understand that this guy over here, web element.send keys, will definitely send the information inside the text box. So send keys will get the text over here called hotels. That's fine. But how do I hit enter? Either I can hit enter or I can hit the button. I don't want to hit the button. I want to hit the enter. How can I hit enter using the Selenium command?
Return key here. Is there a return function here that clicks?
No.
Or tab that skips to the next?
No. I don't want to do that. I want to just directly hit the enter, as if I'm hitting the enter.
Keys.enter.
You click?
Exactly. Keys.enter. So this is what you will write. So this is the XPath of the input box. Could be anything. So you're going to say something like this. You're going to say driver.findElement and whatever the XPath is. I'm not bothered right now. And then he said dot send keys. You're going to give the keys that you're trying to work with. So in this scenario, it is hotels, comma. Okay. You say keys.enter. And as soon as you do that, what will happen? It will first enter the key, enter the text in the hotels, and then it will enter. It will as if hit the keys. I mean the keyboard key enter, and as soon as that happens, it will perform the same thing, like you're clicking on the button. So why am I saying this? Because I have covered this in the video. If you did I not cover it?
Yes, it's covered.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to understand from everybody. If there is a gap, I am ready to work hard and I'm ready to fix the situation. But I really need to understand why am I not getting the answers? Because things are covered already. If you have watched the video, see, I'm expecting 15 hours a week from you guys. You can start it from Monday. Because of this application now, things are much more easier for me to enable you guys immediately after the class, or maybe by tomorrow, whatever. So you can start the class even tomorrow, Monday morning. You can start the class early morning, see it for 1 hour. Okay. And then in the evening, after you are done with your office, you can see it for 1 hour. And then you should be covered. You should be absolutely covered. The point is this, you don't want to have a snowball effect. Whatever, this is the reason why I have, this is the reason why I have, controlled the releases. So you see, I am not releasing, just a minute. I'm not releasing everything together. Now you see, I've added all 8 weeks here. I'm not releasing it. I'm releasing it week by week by week so that I can control your training. You will be having a controlled approach. So every week 3 videos is not too much to handle. You can do it if you can somehow manage your time. If you can manage your time. So 15 hours in the whole week can be managed, and you can watch the video a little bit focused, and things will be much better, believe me. So let me know if there's anything that I can do in order to make your learning even better. Okay, this is my class 12, and then we have class 13. Okay. In this case, in this video, I was just showing you how to create a test case for the application called Hostel World. My motive over here is not to really show you, or is not to basically ask you to write a test case on hostelworld.com. Okay, my motive is to show you how you can write a test case in any application. So what happens with what happens with this particular video is that whatever locators that I have used in this hostel world, okay, this was used like 2-3 months back, or in the month of January or something like that, right? So obviously it means that the locators in this hostel world is much different from today's time, and since we have recorded this. So what I'm trying to say here is, don't go exactly step by step as I have described in the video, like not the locators. The logics are absolutely same. Logics will be same, but locators will be different because application, these are a live application. I'm showing, I have designed this training only on live application, not on some, simple test application, so that it can be very easier for you to understand at the initial level. But when you go in for the job, you will see, oh my God, I don't want to really face that situation. And from the day one, I'm giving you live applications which are there, existing in the in internet, so that you get hands-on from day one. You understand the complexity from day one. I'm not coming to you with any, dummy application. Lot of trainers, lot of companies who are teaching this skill set, they will give you a dummy application that they have implemented, and they will show the whole training against that. and those are not going to be as challenging as these live applications. So my motive is to make you guys, aware of the complexity. If you are having problem to implement a test case on hostelworld.com, try to implement the test case on something else. Go take up any other travel website or any other website for that matter, and try to implement a similar kind of a test case. But try and put time towards implementing a test case. Don't watch my video as if you are watching a movie. It will never give you any result. So 12, 13, 11, 12, 13 is what I have to discuss for today's week. Week 4. Do you have any questions or any suggestions for me that I can implement so that you guys are in a better shape? Any suggestions?
Yeah. So Vic, can I just ask a bit? I lost a bit of connection. The Wi-Fi got broken when you asked the question driver and driver.get and navigate and navigate to. I was just wanted to find out the function is still the same, but I'm trying to find out whether the navigate loads the page quickly without navigates to wherever without loading the page without waiting for the load to skip.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that. It's absolutely same. It's absolutely same function. Nothing like that. There is no difference ideally. There is no difference between get and navigate. I mean, if you just want to search it, you can search it. Difference between get and navigate command. Get and navigate.
Because they're saying the navigate is faster than the get.
No. So get is used to navigate a particular URL. Navigate is used to navigate a particular URL, and does not wait for the page to load. It's actually the same thing. I mean, there is not much of a difference. Let me just see here. What does it say? Do exactly the same thing. To reiterate, it does exactly the same thing. You understand? There's no difference at all. Navigate interface also expose. So navigate is just having two more methods added to it. One is forward and backward, and that's it. But if you just say navigate to, you are exactly doing the same thing as you are saying it for get. So they are no different than each other. So that's pretty much about it. Any other questions for me or suggestions for me? Please let me know. I will enable you guys with week 5. So today is week 4, guys. So whoever is ready to continue and whoever didn't pay so far, please make the payment. So Richard, I think you were not there since second week, I believe. Second and third week, I believe. Yeah. Shane, it's total 16 weeks. I'm uploading the content over here in this application, week by week. So right now I have added for 8 weeks, but yeah, 16 weeks. That's right. So Richard, if you want to talk to me post this meeting, I can be there. I can talk to you because I didn't see you in last 2 weeks. So I want to know what's going on with that. Is that okay?
Richard? Richard is away at the moment, so he's gonna come back.
Okay. Perfect then. So I think that's pretty much that I want to cover today. Do you have any questions for me? Again, I'm asking. Any questions? Any suggestions?
Sorry, go ahead. I think that was it. Sorry, go ahead.
Fran, you can go ahead.
I have a question. In the assignments for class 11, there's a lot of them asking to count a number of elements. I'd like to know if there's something different from like just use the list of web elements and use this dot size to get the number of elements, or if there's something else to do.
Sure. You're talking about this ones?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does it say? You're talking about the scenario, which is
the 10, for example.
Number, which number?
10.
Number 10. Okay. Count the number of links and print all the text of the links. Yes, that's right. So that is what is the scenario, right? So assignment number 10. Launch any website, count the number of links and print the text of the links. So yes, so the answer that you're talking about is absolutely right. So what you have to do is you have to just go to a particular web page and you just say list of web elements, say links equals driver dot find element, okay? Whatever the XPath is, find elements, whatever the XPath is. XPath is. So you have link, list web element links, driver dot find elements, and all you have to say is links, because it's a list now. So you can, all you can do is list dot size, and that's pretty much about it. That will tell you the number of links in the page. And when I'm saying print all of them, you can easily print that too. How? I have shown that to you today itself, right? So clear out all my drawings, go to the page. So in this example, right? Just say sys out, okay? Menu items dot what? Get, dot size. That gives you how many menu items are there falling under this XPath category. That's one thing. And then how you want to print them? Again, the same thing. Items.getText will print you the value. That's it. Right? Is that clear, Fran?
Yeah. I just was not sure if just get the size it was the better solution.
No, that is the better solution. That is the only solution. That's
okay,
the only
perfect.
Solution. Yeah,
cool.
Good. Toby, you were saying something. Go on, please.
Yeah, I was just wondering if at the end of the class we could all just kind of do like a recap, you know, so to even get us our brain fresh, you know, and
Okay.
I think that some of this concept will be good for repetition. You know, it'll stick with us if we were, you know, repetitively learn it rather than jump into a new subject, you know, after, you know.
So recap, you want to do it in the live class after everything I have discussed, or you want to use the recap as something for the next week, like in the next week class, whatever the new topics are going to come, I will be giving you an overview on that. What exactly is your strategy?
Oh yeah, like a recap of, like, we can even do one right now, just before we move to
Okay.
week 5. Just
Yeah. Perfect. No problem at all. No problem at all. So I have spoken about in class 11. I've spoken about XPath methods. Okay, what are XPath methods? I have spoken about different kind of, so understanding find element and find elements. Find element is finding one element from the page. Find elements are finding multiple elements from the page. Every of these slide decks are having a small code snippet for you to understand what's happening. Okay, so if you look at it a little closely and look at the videos, let's create a test case. I have already created a test case for Amazon, and I have spoken to you about the navigation without understand the broken without navigating to the link. These are two test cases I have shown you there. Look at that video there, and then I have the other one, which is class 11. 11 is done. Class 12. class 12. Class 12, I will have this guy. Okay. Okay, in this, I have spoken about different kind of browser commands. .get method. Get method is to get into a URL, right? A page. Navigate to does the same thing. Navigate dot backward. So navigate will dot backward will take you back to the previous page from where you came in, right? So navigate dot backward will do that. Forward will just take you back to the, take you one step ahead. So exactly in the browser, in your browser, if you understand these two buttons over here, you see on the left top corner, if you understand these two buttons, then exactly this is what is happening with those commands. So you're doing a forward and you're doing a backward, right? That's that. Then you have get current URL. Get current URL is nothing but it'll give you the current URL of the page. It's quite understandable. Current URL of the page. Get title. Get title is a method that will tell you the title of the page. So for example, this is my page and this page is having some title. How do I know the title of this page? If I hover on top of this page, I get this title name. You see that? Class and then some random string, right? So if I actually inspect this page, okay, and if I go to the very top of the page, under head, if I go a little down, title, you see that? That's my title. Class, hyphen, and some random text. That's my title of the page. So if I want to really get the text of the title or the name of the title, I will be calling the method up here, which is this guy, get title. Okay. Web element commands, web element dot click, web element dot send keys. Click is nothing but you understand. You can click on a button, you can click on an anchor. You can idly perform a click on any damn thing in the page. It can be an image, it can be a normal text box, it can be a normal string. But so think about it. Think about it. So this is my string. This is string, right? If I perform a click on this, do you see anything happening? Nothing happens, right? If I double click on it, then I select this. I just select this, right? If I just click on this one time, nothing happens. So exactly, you can perform a click on a string as well. But if that element that you're performing a click on, if there is no action defined for that element will not react back. Like, so if I am clicking on this button, this guy over here, the menu icon, if I click on this, then a page opens up because there's an action defined on that button that open up something for me, which is why I see it. So similarly, the point is the click can be done on anything, but if there is any action supposed to happen, only then that will happen, right? Then you have the other guy, which is send keys. Send keys are mostly used for sending the text inside an input box, and I have explained that how you can send the text inside the input box, and also you can hit the enter, which I explained 2 minutes back. So that's the send keys part, and that's all I have discussed over here in the video number 12. And then in the video number 13, it is just a project. I have not really discussed anything specific there, but the project is about creating a test case for hostel world. And as I said, the objects that are being used in the hostel world then during our recording of the class, and if you compare it with today's hostel world, obviously the application has changed, and I have no control over that. So obviously the same XPath will not work. You have to find your own XPath, and you can only do that once you are understanding how to do it, right? So whatever you have learned today in the summary class, if you have grasped it properly, if you have absorbed it properly, then it should be a piece of cake for you to get it done. On top of all of this, I want you guys to please use the Slack channel properly. I have no problem during this lockdown period. I have time between the office hours as well or even after the office hours as well, in the middle of the week, to give you some extra class or to give you 1 hour time to clear all your doubts. If you guys can chat with each other and can fix up a time, say evening 8 o'clock or whatever. Generally in the 8 o'clock I go for the gym. I will probably skip that day, or maybe I'll go in the morning, whatever it is. If you can fix that time, and if you want me to hop in for a call, just let me know. Connect with me in the Slack. Let me know in between, maybe week, maybe in the Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it is. And if you guys can come together, okay, with a common time. I cannot handle each one of you separately. I still do that. I mean, there is this Calendly link. You can look at that Calendly link and you can have a one-on-one call. But if you guys want to have a group discussion together, you can do it in the middle of the week and just let me know. I can set up a call and then we can get in the call and I can fix that. This is happening because I can do this because we are all working from home. I'm not spending time in traveling. So I can do that, so you guys are really, really privileged in terms of this particular batch or until we are coming back to office. I don't think that will be happening anytime soon than maybe December end or January. But until then, whichever batches I will be training, I will probably help you guys even more. So please take that as a leverage and connect me in between. I can help you guys, yeah? So that's pretty much about it. I will probably, if somebody can talk to Richard and let me know if he is interested to be in this batch. So ask him to, text me in WhatsApp and I can talk to him once he's free. And yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys. Just one question on get title. I'm having a trouble doing exact match on the title that contains a special character like spaces in the end. Just used get title.contents. I will post in the questions. Is it happening for a specific application or it's happening for in general? Shane?
It just for most applications, yeah. I can. It seems when I do like, say I put a string to the actual title, and then I get the title and post it into string.
I will not give you a solution right now on this,
yeah.
But I'll point you to something. Okay. I want you to do a little bit of research on it. There is something called as pattern and matcher.
Okay.
I'm just pointing you there. Yeah.
Cool.
Pattern and matcher in Java. Okay. I'm just sending you the text. Pattern and matcher in Java. This is something to do with regular expression.
Okay. Yeah.
I want you to do some research on that and let me know if this helps.
Okay. Thanks. Now.
Okay. If you're not able to, then I'll pitch in. Good. So thank you guys. Have a great week ahead, and I will enable everyone who has done with the registration, and I'll wait for others to complete the registration, and then I will enable them. And from next week, it's going to be a different link to join. Also, every one of you, whoever is there in the class today, please give me your ID that you want to use for your Google Drive access. You understand me? Because all these Google Drives that you are accessing right now. So until week 4, as I said, everything is like publicly available. So all for accessing this Google Drive, you don't really need to have a specific ID. You can access it with any email ID. Okay, any email ID that is registered for your Google Drive. Okay, but from week 5 onwards, because now we're starting with the paid week. So from there onwards, from this week onwards, all these Google Drive, to access all these Google Drives, you will need to give me the Google Drive ID or the Gmail ID or Yahoo ID using which you guys use your Google Drive. You have to give me those, and I will be explicitly add those email IDs into the Google Drive folder. Only then you will be able to access it. So if you are accessing with some different email ID, then when you click on this, you will not be able to get to the right right guy or right folder. So please give me the Gmail IDs that send me in the chat or in the mail or whatever, that this is the email ID that you want to use to access your Google Drive, and I will enable you for that drive. Yeah, so please do that. All right, that's pretty much for today, and have a great week ahead, guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye, guys.